Da-da-da. Too many buttons. All right, here we are, day 10 of 12 days of yoga. Hopefully you've caught up if you missed the first few, and if you haven't, you can always go back and do a couple more. But nice to have you again today. So day 10 is all about side body stretching. So the last couple practices have been maybe a little more intense in getting into our back bending, our heart opening, a bit more twisting. And we're going to add in some nice soothing openings for the side waist. Now, what can happen when we're opening the side waist is some gripping. So I don't want you to force any of these stretches, but go just to your edge and then back off. Just as you always do, you'll trust that you know when's too far and when's not far enough. So come into a comfortable seated position, and we can start cross legs. I've changed the direction of my mat because a lot of what we'll be doing is side to side. I want you to be able to see that. So if you sit tall at your center, your hands can rest in your lap, and just take a moment to settle, closing your eyes, taking a long, full breath in, and a sighing breath out. Now our side body, much like our hips, is holding past information. It can often feel as though our stagnation, what holds us back, is held in the sides of our waist, the places we don't go into very often. So consider for your intention today, as you bring your hands together, an opening, an expansion, a word that creates space in your side waist. Take a full breath in and a sighing breath out. We'll interlace our hands here at our heart. Press your palms forward, away from you, making the arms as straight as you can. Then take the arms up overhead. Now, if you have shoulder impingements, just bend the elbows, but keep working them straighter over time. So wherever is okay for you to be. And it's almost as if you're trying to pull your armpits forward and open, as opposed to pulling the chest back. Once up overhead, take a big breath in and go straight up on your inhale. And as you exhale, reach over to your right side. Then inhale back to center. And over to your left side. Inhale to center. One more on each side. Inhale through center. Letting the ribs lift up and create some space between your ribs and your pelvis. As you come back to center, release the hands and float them all the way down by your sides. And we'll take the hands down by the sides, and if you want to switch the cross of your legs, you can. Keep your left fingertips down and take your right arm straight up. I'm speaking a little backwards depending on which screen you're watching me on, but go with what works. We're doing both sides. It doesn't matter which you do first. As you go up on your inhale, reach over on your exhale. I want you to stay there and just breathe, turning your heart towards the sky. I just have one more joining here. I want to make sure she gets in. As we reach up and over, there's a little bit of a turn of your chest open. And then maybe back towards neutral and back to center. Now, what can happen when we do this little bit of lean into our hand is we'll collapse into it. So I want you to think the hand that's below is just a little kickstand, a little support as you go up, and then walk the fingers over. And this hand that's here, it's here, but we're not putting a ton of weight into it. You're just going to an edge where you feel the muscle get long and it almost grips to stop you from falling over. And that's kind of the purpose of these side body movements. Building our core strength, but also elongating the muscle and asking it to work there, which will make it want to stay there longer. And come all the way back up to center. And this one, as you take your left hand down and your right hand up, we're going to take it over on an angle. We're going to be here for a bit, so maybe don't go as deep. And then bend your elbow of your right hand, pull it down. It's almost like you're loading up some energy, shrugging the shoulder down from the ear, and then reaching overhead a little further. And then inhale to open. You can look at the hand if you'd like. You can even follow it overhead if that feels okay on your neck. Otherwise, keep the head neutral. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, extend out of the waist. If you have lots of space, you might get your forearm right down to the floor. Maybe that's a direction you want to head over time. So it might not be there today. One more. And pull back all the way to center. Big breath in the middle. Right hand down, left hand up, a little lean in and over the arm with the ear. And then coil the elbow, pulling down. And then reaching up and over. Inhale, pull. Exhale, over. You're trying to reach the far side of your room. Inhale, down. And over. As you're releasing that space, if you went too far, too fast, just back off a little. One more. As you come back through center, stretch your legs out in front and just widen your feet. As you widen your feet, you'll take the legs out to left and right, to whatever is comfortable for you. And your hands will rest either on your knees or just behind the legs. We'll take a tall inhalation and then a lean over the right leg. And the tall inhalation and the heart over the left leg. Inhale, tall. Exhale, reach. Inhale, tall. Exhale, other side. Keep going. Maybe even close your eyes. We'll do a few more here. What you may find over time is focusing on your side body. And I've spent a lot of time for my own practice focusing on my side waist and realized how much access I've gained in other poses because of the work of the side waist. It is an area we tend to neglect, not focusing in on. Do one more on each side, tall center, over one leg, tall center, over the other leg. As we come back to center, bring the legs together and you'll come into a standing forward fold. And we'll do some spinal rolls, but a little different than you might be used to. We're going to do one side at a time. So you'll bring both hands onto your left leg and you'll slide, so hand on hand. Your right hand is on your shin, your left hand is on top, and your head goes heavy. You can watch the first one if you'd like. And we're pulling from the elbow, the left elbow to the sky. So it's leading. As we trail up, we'll almost bring the hand into the armpit. The elbow points to the sky. Look over your left elbow. And then come back down, exhale. Inhale, just tracing up the left leg. Look over the left elbow. And exhale back down. Let's do two more. We're not coming all the way to upright, but pretty close. And then back down. Keep the knees slightly bent, allowing space in the hamstrings. And all the way back down. Other side. So your left hand's on your right leg and your right hand on top. And as you trace the hands, once the hands reach the hip, leave your left hand there and take your right elbow to the ceiling. And then come back down. 3 more. Rolling vertebra, vertebra, slightly rolling open. And back down. Last one. And as you come back down, I want you to hang forward for a moment, allowing your whole torso to just be heavy and to release. As you forward fold here, just letting everything drop, everything descend. Give your knees a deep bend, and then rolling all the way up straight, all the way up. At the very top, sweep your arms to the sky. Now, if you can't see in my hands, you're going to interlace your fingers with your pointer fingers to the sky. You'll reach up out of your waist, and then tick-tock like a little clock, one side. Inhale up through center, other side. Now the key with this is to squeeze hand to hand. Again, if your shoulders are impinged at all, just bend the elbows. This is not about our shoulders, it's really about our sideways, so it's all connected. The hand that's on the bottom of your arc, whichever side you're on, is squeezing the upper hand over. One more here. Equal on both sides, and then release the arms fully, giving them a little flush. Now from here, we're going to take the hands on the hips, step your right foot forward, and bring your left knee down. So however you want to get there, we're just in a nice, comfortable lunge type position. And we'll take the hands again to interlace in front of our heart. And as your hands interlace, press the palms forward. And then send your hips in that direction, but mindful that you're not rotating to the side. You're staying anchored in the middle. We'll go up on the in-breath and over to the right on the out-breath. And then inhale up to center. And then the counter side. So you might feel a little more awkward going over to this side. Maybe you go a little slower, not as far. Inhale back to center. And bring the hands onto either side of the front foot. You can cushion the back knee if you need, straighten your front leg. I like to have a blanket nearby for that sensitive knee. And here you can also use a block if you've got one under your left hand or the hand that's next to the leg. From here, your right hand on the hip, pull back and roll your chest open. Bit of a rotation, then arm to the sky. We go arm to the sky and eventually spin your palm to the front of your mat and reach over your ear. You may feel this in the outside of the extended leg in front, or you might feel it more into that mid-hip, sideways. Breathe for 3. Good, front leg is straight, back knee bends. I always like this position for opening up the side waist, but then also to come out, it's like you're playing an electric guitar. So you bring the arm all the way down, bend the right knee. It's like you're doing a fancy dance move, and you'll bring your right hand back up and then your left to meet it. Bring your hands to your heart. and the fingertips forward. Now to switch legs, we'll just lift the back knee and you can step, switch, right foot back, left knee forward. Cushion the knee if you need here. Come back to your lunge. Interlace the hands the opposite way you did last time. Press the palms forward. Take a breath and lean into your hands, into your hips. Take the arms up as you breathe in and over to the left as you breathe out. Inhale up to center. Over to the off side, gradual and slow. Because we'll skip over where we're weak and go to where we're strong. Up through center. Then release the arms. Bring the hands down on either side of the front foot and pull the front leg straight. As the front leg goes straight, hand onto that block or on the floor, left hand to your hip, and pull your hip down as you feel your heart roll open. You might stay right here or take the arm to 12 o'clock. You've got plenty here, just stay. You want a little more, reach the arm over the ear. So you're reaching towards the front of your mat, turning your heart open to the ceiling, to the sky. Just stay and breathe. Then play that guitar, swing the arm down by the hip, bend into the front knee, bringing both hands forward, blocks to the side, lift the back knee and step forward. Now you'll come down onto both knees here into the middle of your mat. You can also face the long edge of your mat if you'd rather here. So depending on how much space you have, if your mat is long, use the long edge, because we're going to extend to side. So we'll start with left hand down, right arm straight out. It's like you're rolling it through the arm socket. Lift the hips and kick out your right foot. You get that nice big arcing rainbow. Then pull the knees together, sweep the arm in front, all the way around to the right side. Left arm reaches over, hips come up, kick the foot out. It'll feel natural to just get that fullest extension expression. Back together. Let's just do a couple with breath. Inhale, open, kick the foot out, reach over the ear. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, reach up and open. Back to center. Inhale, kick up and open. Back to center. Make sure you're even on both sides. And as you land back at center, we're going to come into a seated position. So you'll bring your legs around in front. And as you bring the legs around in front, this is a single leg extension, but let's widen the feet at least mat distance, if not a little bit wider. What you want to be mindful of is that your toes aren't folding out or falling out. And you can even use your hands to manually turn your femurs in. You'll take the back of your right hand to the inner edge of your knee, which might force the foot to roll open. Back up just a little bit. As you roll open, push the foot back to your hand and take your left hand to your ribs, facing your extended leg. Now it's extended, but we're going to bend it in so that we're facing a bent knee, and take the left arm up to the sky. All you'll do here is trace the inside of your leg as best you can with your wrist, maybe eventually your forearm, And your elbow and your knee might eventually meet here. Now, if they don't meet right away, just keep a little tension. The arm extends and we arc over. Now, if the hands in extension aren't feeling that great, you can bend the elbow and hold your head and point your elbow to the ceiling. And breathe steady here for 3. For 2. Right to your edge, one more breath. Release the upper arm, bring it down behind you. Plant that palm and reach your right arm to the sky. Now this might be enough, or you can press into your front shin and your foot and take a bit of that back arc, whoops, like we did earlier. Bring the arm in front and scoop it around. Easy, simple dance move. All right, bring your legs wide, backs of the hands inside, but we're going to turn to face the right knee, hold the right foot in, press hand to knee, right arm to the sky. Now take your time when you first set this up. You start to slide the elbow, try to get it inside that femur, and press the leg to your arm and the arm to your leg. You want to use a little hand assist to curl open, go for it. And reaching the arm over the ear, if that's available. You can also hook the head behind, or the hand behind the head, and point your elbow to the sky. And let's stay and breathe for 3, sorry. When you're taking the inhale, try to count to 5. And same when you take your exhale, try to count to 5. And that elongated breath is what's going to tap into the depth of that side body. The side body stretches always feel more awkward because we feel like we should be able to go further. Don't worry, only go as far as you can manage for now, and over time, you'll start to really reap the rewards of opening the side waist. And come all the way back up, the right hand behind you, the left arm to the sky, staying here just to express the spine open, or press knee and foot down, bit of a wild thing open. And let the arm naturally come in front of the chest and all the way down. Beautiful. Take the feet out in front and go ahead and lie onto your back. As you lie onto your back, we're going to take an extended twist here, which really taps into the side waist. And you can do this with a strap if you'd like. So holding the foot seems really far. You'll start by bringing your right knee in close, extending your left leg long, but your toes to the sky. Now, if you can reach with ease, you'll either hold the outside of the knee, the shin, or the foot. And regardless of where you're holding, I want you to kick the foot up towards the ceiling first, and then let your right arm open out to the side. And then gradually use the hand outside the foot, the shin, or the knee to reach way across as far as you can kick your heel out to the side. Now, if the foot reaches the floor, great. You can keep the leg active here. And what we can do to shift our side waist is, one, take our left hand and push the top of our femur away so we can move more length into the side body. And 2, take your right arm, bend at the elbow, and then reach way back across to the farthest corner of your room, so that your right foot and your right arm are reaching as far away from each other, almost like you were being tightened if you tied yourself in a bow and then pulled each end. like you're tying ribbons around gifts. And reach your toes further and further away. Reach your arm further and further away. Take a really big breath in here. And as you release it, I want you to soften everything. The knee, the shoulder, the elbow, the rib cage. Take 2 more breaths here. Just relaxing into your rotation. So now you're not forcing it. So we start with an extension expression and then we let it go. Now bend the knee, bend the elbow, bring everything back to center. Curl up into a little ball. Reach for your shins or even your feet. And then lie back down. Hug your left knee in real snug. Extend your right leg, full length. You'll take your right hand to the outer knee, shin, or foot, and either way, you're kicking your leg skyward first. Your left arm reaches straight out. And as you kick the foot skyward, kick it across your body and guide the leg all the way across until your toes might touch the floor. They might even just hover. They might not touch the floor, but the leg's getting straighter and straighter and straighter. And once you're there, use your right hand to push your hip away from you. Use the top of the femur. And then bend your left elbow. Keep the shoulder on the mat, but reach the arm way back behind you. So you're trying to get the longest length from toes to fingertips that you could create. As you feel the bow tighten and tighten, you're lengthening. Little sips of breath, get a little longer, reach your toes way out to that far side. Big breath in and soften into your twist. Soften the elbows, soften the knee, let the whole body release. 2 more breaths. Then you unwind back to center, squeeze both knees in. Maybe you lift your head, catch your feet or your ankles. And then final release here, simple Shavasana, letting all the work you've done now be absorbed into the cells of your being. Let your palms roll open, let your breath relax, and let your head go heavy. Let your body be here and breathe. Back to the intention you set for freedom of space and release in the side waist. To in turn give you space to move with ease and freedom through the rest of your day. I very much invite you to stay here a little longer if you have the time. I'll sign off in a few moments. You can feel free to just stay heavy on your mat. If you're feeling called to move on with your day. You can always roll onto one side. Wherever you've decided to be, you can rest your hands on your heart center. Take a breath Maybe let yourself fall deeper into this state of rest, of release. At each time we step on the mat, we offer ourselves care and consideration. This time is for us, as unique as we are, but in turn also for one another and those we meet in our day. Bow your head towards your heart. Namaste. Thank you for side body stretching with me today. Hopefully that feels good and something you want to tap more into. It's always available, just takes a bit of focus. Thank you so much for day 10, only 2 days to go. For tomorrow, we have neck and shoulders, which will be a focus just for our neck and shoulders, so that final release. And then on our final day, which is on the 23rd, we will be doing just a smooth flow, and it may be a little longer. So between 45 and an hour is the aim. So if you can make it for that whole time, great. If you want to do the recording later, that's always an option. We post them on our IGTV and on our Facebook page, I guess I'll call it. So I'll post it there and you can always redo them when you have a chance. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you soon.